If you're cutting your Bermuda once every 2 weeks at 1 inches, I'm going to share with you 3 reasons why that's a bad idea.
Keep it simple and just mow.
Reason number 1, Bermuda just grows way too fast for it to be cut so infrequently. Bermuda growth typically increases as it gets warmer, and during the hottest months of the year, your Bermuda is just going to explode. You see, with Bermuda, the top 1/3 of it is green and the bottom 2/3 of it is brown. So if you allow too much time to pass, you're going to cut off all that green and all you're going to be left with brown. So you want to get out there and cut just enough where you're still maintaining the green that you have. An alternative, if you're dead set to cutting once every 2 weeks, what you can do is raise your height of cut. As an average homeowner, you can raise your height of cut. Not a lot of people have the time and day to constantly mow their lawn every day or every other day. So you're gonna have to raise your height of cut. And don't be afraid to go up, maybe 2 inches, maybe 2.5. Hell, there's 1 year I went to 3 inches. This was before I got the real mower. When I had a rotary mower, I actually went up to 3 inches in the height of cut. So don't be afraid to go up in the height of cut. It's still gonna look good. It's gonna be leggy. It's not ideal, but it's better than exposing all brown and stressing out the turf. So like I said, what you want to do is raise your height of cut if you're dead set on mowing once every 2 weeks. Preferably, it's ideal to mow once a week and maybe keep your height of cut at about, let's say, 2 inches. That's usually the typical homeowner height of cut. Doing this is definitely achievable, and you just gotta make the time to do it. If you're hiring a landscape company to do the cutting for you and they're coming out once every 2 weeks, maybe in between then you can get out there and mow the lawn in between your landscape company. So this way you can go out and mow once a week. Reason number 2, you're just gonna stress the turf out. If you're constantly cutting the Bermuda and exposing the brown at every single mowing, you're gonna stress it out. And at some point, you're gonna increase the chances of introducing weeds into the lawn. You see, Bermuda will choke out the weeds if it's growing green and aggressively and being maintained at the appropriate height. But if you're constantly cutting off the green and exposing the brown, there's a good chance the weed seeds will be introduced into the lawn. And it doesn't just have to be blown in the wind. It could be brought in by wild animals, maybe a bird, a squirrel, a cat, you name it. The chance of introducing weeds is increased if you're stressing the turf out.
Reason number 3, when you stress the Bermuda out, it's just not gonna grow the way you want it to. All those bare spots you have in the lawn is gonna be slow to fill in, if they even fill in, because all the energy of the plant is being used to survive. Because you're scalping the lawn at every single mowing, it's not gonna thrive the way you want it to. Another big stress factor is mowing with a dull blade. If you don't know when was the last time you even sharpened your mower blade, you need to get it sharpened right away. Because a dull blade is not gonna cut Bermuda, it's gonna rip it. And when you rip Bermuda, you're gonna stress it even more, and that's gonna increase the chances of not only weeds, but also diseases. So a sharp mower blade is a must. At a minimum, you should sharpen your mower blade at least once or twice a year, preferably a little bit more if you cut more frequently.
But there's a certain satisfaction to having the greenest lawn in the neighborhood. If you maintain your lawn appropriately, aim at mowing once a week at 2 inches, you're going to improve the lawn care game. Now, I didn't mention anything about a plant growth regulators. When you apply a plant growth regulator, it does change the game just a little bit. But then again, if you're new to lawn care, I don't recommend plant growth regulators, at least until you get comfortable with mowing and applying it via a backpack sprayer. Over time, as you consistently mow, you're going to realize that you're able to cut the lawn a little bit faster than the previous time. And if you manage the time efficiently, who knows, maybe you may have extra time to actually sneak in an extra mow in between your mowings. So the more you mow, the more comfortable you get with the lay of the land, and you'll develop tips and tricks on your own. You'll figure out what works, what doesn't work, and you may even cut back some of the mowing time, and that may free up another day for you to mow.